Hello students, welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. In today's video, we are going to discuss about a new northeast road link that the government and the Union Cabinet has proposed largely to connect the Kolkata, that is situated along the eastern coast of India, to the northeastern states of India. And this link will not traverse and pass through the traditional Siliguri corridor road link. Rather, this link has been constructed as an extension of seaward link passing through Myanmar and then further from Myanmar entering into the northeastern states. So let us try to understand the background and the entire issue in more detail. Now we know that few months back, when the chief advisor of the Bangladesh government, Muhammad Yunus, was on his visit to China, then he met Xi Jinping, the premier of China. During this meeting, he has clearly stated some controversial, what you can call as statement, and which was not taken in good faith by India as such. He has made allegation that the Bangladesh is the only country which can be considered as the sole guardian of the Indian Ocean, given that India is the country which is having the longest coastline on the Bay of Bengal side. Second, he also has made the claim that the entire northeastern region, northeastern states, which is also sometimes referred as Seven Sisters, are landlocked state, and then he invited China to ensure development in the Bangladesh region. And he also has made controversial remark where he has said that northeastern state is landlocked state, and that is why basically for any exit they have to depend on the Bangladesh as such. And then further, if we try to understand, the point he has raised also actually was questioned by many strategic experts, that he has hinted about the vulnerability of Siliguri corridor, also referred as chicken snake. Now, as we know, if you look at the map of India, the entire mainland of India is connected to the northeastern state of India by a very narrow land route that is called as Siliguri corridor. In its narrowest portion, it is just 22 kilometers wide, and it is about 160 kilometers of land corridor connecting mainland to northeastern India. On the western side, as you can see, you have the Nepal, then further to the east, northeast you have Bhutan, and further north you have the Tibet, that is controlled by China as such. So, because of this strategic location of Siliguri corridor, many times a point is raised that in case of war between India and China, China would try to take control of the Siliguri corridor, and to the south, as you can see, very importantly, you have Bangladesh as such. So, in the case of collusion between China and Bangladesh, this region can become much more vulnerable, and that is why ensuring its security should be paramount for India to ensure the security of its northeastern region. So, this is where the entire claim was raised, or entire controversial statement was given by the Muhammad Yunus. Then further, he met on the sideline of BIMSTEC summit and met the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi. As you know that BIMSTEC is a group of countries which stands for Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation. As you can see, both Bangladesh and India, along with countries such as Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bhutan, Thailand and Myanmar, are members of this group as such. So, on the sideline of BIMSTEC summit, the Muhammad Yunus was able to meet Prime Minister Modi, and during this meeting also, it was clearly stated to him that such kind of remarks as he made in China, it vitiates the atmosphere, and also it damages the bilateral relations and the strong relations that India and Bangladesh has enjoyed for many years as such. However, despite that, even after that, we have seen a lot of such kind of statement being made by Muhammad Yunus. That was made also during one of his key members of his political party, and his government has made a remark that if Pakistan attacks India, Bangladesh should take the advantage of it and should attack and capture the northeastern states. So, such kind of remarks are being made. It is in this context the government of India has decided to construct a 4-lane highway that will connect Silchar, that is part of Assam, as you can see from map here, to the Shillong, that is the capital of Meghalaya as such. So, this is nothing but extension of Kaladan multimodal transport project, also called as a multimodal transportation project, that connects Kolkata, then it connects Myanmar, and through the Myanmar we have the land connectivity to the northeastern region. Now, this entire project that we are talking about is about 166.8 kilometers long, as you can see from this here, and it is a 4-lane highway that is running along the national highway number 6, and it basically connects the Mawlyngkhung part, this Mawlyngkhung city or town we can say, that is near Shillong, and Panchgram is a town near the Silchar of Assam as such. And in the northeastern states, if we talk about, the significance comes from the fact that it is going to the first such high speed corridor project. The entire project is being commissioned by organization called as National Highways Infrastructure Development Corporation Limited, also called as NHIDCL in the short. And this organization is working overall under the control and command of Ministry of Road Transportation and Highway as such. So let us try to understand details on the map that how this entire project look like. Now, earlier also, when we talk about the Kaladan multimodal transit transportation project, the project was largely to connect the Kolkata port on the eastern coast of India to the Sitwe port that lies in the Myanmar. Now, this is a very interesting development that is happening here because Sitwe is lying in the Arakan region of Myanmar, Rakhine state of Myanmar. There you have the rebel group Arakan army that is trying to seize control of this entire territory. So, any changes in the internal politics of the Myanmar, how stable and disturbed it will be, also will affect to some extent the feasibility of this project as such. So, to understand this transportation project, from Kolkata, ships can easily traverse across the Bay of Bengal, can reach the Sitwe port. Then from Sitwe, there you have inland waterway transportation connectivity to the Paletwa and then Kaletwa. And then from Kaletwa, it can enter into the Jorunpui region. Jorunpui, as you can see, if you talk about the northeastern state, you should know that here we have the Mizoram, Manipur, and then further south you have Mizoram. So, in the Jorunpui and then further to the Longthalai, these are the two places in Mizoram. So, from Kaletwa, we will have a roadway transportation connecting this. Then it will go to the capital of Mizoram, that is Aizawl, and then further from the Mizoram, you will have another highway connecting road that will connect this to the Silchar, that is in Assam, and from Silchar, it will then further go to Shillong, which is in Meghalaya. So, the connectivity through Mizoram, and as you can see, Mizoram and Manipur are connected together. Mizoram, Manipur, Assam. From Assam, then you can go to Meghalaya. From Assam, you can also go to the Barak Valley and the Damodar region, and then this Barak Valley, and actually you have the Brahmaputra region. And then further, you can have connectivity to the northeastern state of Nagaland and further Arunachal Pradesh as well. That is why it is a very significant project, because it is not only connecting few states of northeast, rather it is connecting the entire eastern part of India, whether it is Kolkata port, whether it is Visakhapatnam port, to the entire northeastern region of India as such. So, that is how this project is expected to run. Kaladan name is given because of the Kaladan river that flows over which inland waterway transportation will be ensured as such. Now, if we talk about this particular 4-lane highway project, the Union Cabinet has given the approval, and the total budget cost of the project has estimated to be about 22,864 crore. The project will be completed on HAM model. HAM is a model where you have a kind of public-private partnership where both government and the private enterprises work together, and the full form is hybrid annuity model as such. The 40% of construction project is borne by government, and the remaining 60% has to be given by the private company as such, and after that annuity model in which revenue sharing is ensured as such. Now, this project is not only simply a completion of a highway project or a roadway project. This project also encompasses construction and development of 19 bridges, 153 minor bridges, the small bridges passing over the smaller rivulets or the river streams, 326 culverts, 22 underpasses, 26 overpasses, 8 limited height subway, and 34 viaduct. So, a very diverse kind of project you can see is taking shape in this northeastern region of India, and this also should give you idea about how serious government of India is now to bypass Bangladesh, or to or we can say reduce the dependency on the Siliguri corridor, and that this project can play a very important role here. Now, as we discussed, the project this is the highway that is passing over a distance of 167 kilometers. So, there 144.8 kilometer lies in Meghalaya and 22 kilometer lies in the state of Assam. If you try to look at the significance of this project, not only will this project connect eastern part of India to northeastern part of India, but also within the northeastern region, it is going to reduce the journey time from 8 hours and 30 minutes it take as of now to just 5 hours. Siliguri corridor, as we have discussed, will be able to overcome and reduce the dependency on it. And also the significance is the place where this road is being constructed. It is very important point, very important connecting link, because Silchar, if you talk about, that is the entry point for connecting Mizoram, Tripura and Manipur. So, 3 states that we discussed in the eastern part, as well as the Barak Valley in the Assam as such, plus Meghalaya already we have discussed about. So, all the 6 states, 7 states of northeastern India will be able to get benefit and advantage from it. Significance also you can understand from the fact that it is going to be a major gateway for India's Act East policy. We know that few years back when Narendra Modi government came into power, they have talked about Act East policy, which is considered as nothing but one step ahead of the Look East policy that was formulated during the tenure of P.V. Narasimha Rao, the late Prime Minister of India. So Act East policy is basically trying to ensure that the northeastern region of India act as a hub and connecting link between the mainland India and the other countries which are a part of Southeast Asia. Because if you look at the geographical map, to the northeastern states you have connectivity with the Myanmar, from Myanmar then you have connectivity to the other countries such as Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, further Vietnam, and then further by the sea routes Indonesia, Malaysia, all these countries can be considered as basically connected with it. So northeastern region should act as a hub for all kind of exchanges, whether it is a cultural exchanges, whether it is economic infrastructure development, whether it is the political exchanges. So that is the overall policy and goal of Act East policy. So any kind of infrastructure development in this area will ensure that the Act East policy is not only a talking point, but actually its implementation is practically being seen as such. With the help of Kaladan project, as we have discussed on the map before, cargo will reach from various ports of India such as Visakhapatnam port, that is also called as Vizag, Kolkata port to the northeast without being dependent on Bangladesh. Because if we talk about the other possibility is by passing through the Bangladesh, the land of the Bangladesh, and then entering to the northeast in the Assam or the Meghalaya region, but that is not feasible because of the antagonistic stance taken by Bangladesh government against India as of now. The high-speed corridor will ensure transportation of goods via road after that, which will also spur the economic activity in the region. Unfortunately, we know that the northeastern region of India, because of its geographical isolation and also due to the difficult geographical terrain, has remained kind of underdeveloped, and that is expected to change once massive infrastructure project development is seen in these areas. So roadway transportation, we have also seen development of a lot of airports and airstrips, new railway links are being talked about. So all this will ensure that Northeast also develop at the same pace as the other regions of India as such. Now, not only this project is going to have a strategic significance, but also many experts consider this, if it completes, it will become a kind of engineering marvel as such. So for example, it is going to be one of the most challenging development project, road development project as per the NHIDCL, because the terrain here is very difficult. We know that in northeastern India, you have a large area that is covered by hills, the hills that are unstable, the hills that are lying in the seismic zone, the hills that are prone to landslide. And also interestingly, it is a northeastern state which see very heavy amount of rainfall, especially talk about the Meghalaya in the Mawsyn Ram, Cherrapunji. These are not only the wettest place in India, but they are also considered as the wettest place on the earth. That means they receive highest amount of rainfall on the entire earth. And this such a huge amount of rainfall creates problem for the infrastructure development, as landslides, instability in the hills become very frequent occurrences as such. So due to this difficult terrain and also the existing conditions road we talk about is not so good, it is going to be a major challenge for the developers as such. Apart from that also, rather than depending upon the traditional method of roadway development, here the experts have talked about the construction of highway that will involve use of new science and technological equipments such as the stabilization of slope to predict landslides as the alignment traverses through difficult hilly terrain as we have discussed. So for this purpose, the NHIDCL has taken into consideration the help and support of NIRM, that is National Institute of Rock Mechanics, to ensure that the roadway development that is going on in this area are not marked by the geographical challenges and the challenges related to climate such. So NIRM will be responsible for the modern technology and the use of machinery in construction to provide all weather connectivity. That means whether it is a rainy season, summer season, and any kind of season, the road should be able to facilitate the movement of the transport and vehicles on it. So for that, slope stabilization is the major measures that is being taken here. It is to predict the landslide so that the movement of traffic can be stopped as such. For this purpose, the topographical image and the data has been constructed using the new method that is called as LIDAR scanning, that stands for light detection and ranging scanning. Not only that, here also developers have said that they are going to use various other instruments such as piezometer. Piezometer is an instrument that is largely used to measure the pore sizes of the rock structures, rain gauge to measure the amount of rainfall over this entire area where the project is being proposed, settlement gauges to understand the slope and stability in the hills and mountains, inclinometer also try to understand what is the probability of landslide in a particular section of the hills, and geophones to look at and hear the seismic vibration to understand to what extent seismic damage can happen in the event of earthquake in this area. So these are the key equipments which will be installed for the monitoring of the roadway, monitoring of the highways and overall construction and development project as such. Now, three other suggestions have come by the experts to ensure that the landslides and the possibility can be minimized. First is the construction of what we can call as the rock anchors. As you can see from this particular image here, rock anchors are basically a kind of anchors that are installed in the hills to ensure that rocks, especially those rocks which are unstable in nature, which are fragmented in nature, which have a possibility of breaking and falling down, they can be stabilized at the place where they are located as such. Second is the possibility of covering the entire hills along the highways with a steel wire mesh or very strong wire mesh. So it ensures that this wire mesh, even if the rocks are falling down, they will not be able to come and fall on the highways and roadways, and thus they will not damage the roads, and also they will not obstruct the movement of the vehicles as such. So covering the hills with a wire mesh is the option. Third option is wherever it is possible to construct a kind of barrier, a wall-like barrier, as you can see from this particular picture here. So when the slopes become unstable, when the landslides and rock slides happen, then rather than falling directly on the roads, they can be stopped by this wall barrier. So these three measures also are expected to expected to take into consideration when the roadway project will be completed and will be constructed. So this is how the NHIDCL, the Ministry of Road Transportation Highway, is going to construct and ensure that the highway will provide all weather connectivity, reducing, again the objective is to reduce our dependency on Siliguri corridor and to provide an alternate way of connecting the eastern part of India to the northeastern states of India, bypassing Bangladesh and moving through the region and territory of Myanmar as such. That is all about this particular video. I hope you got the idea behind the significance of this project. So if you like the video, please hit the like button, share it with fellow aspirants, as well as subscribe to our channel for more such content. Thank you very much.